Hello, everyone. Here we are. We're getting started. I'm waiting for everything to kind of come to life as they do, one thing at a time. So we're going to be drawing Nightmare Before Christmas today. Here, I'm the one watching. Hello, I'm Ryan. I draw storyboards for animation and I do picture books and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be drawing Nightmare Before Christmas today. This is my kind of sketch. I did a sketch and it was really small. And, well, I do my color studies kind of first, right? That's kind of the color study. And then I was like, oh, I need like a value study. See, I said value study. And then I did that. And then I was like, I don't need all this extra space on the side. So then I was like, I'm going to do it vertically like this. I like that a lot more. And then hello, Two-Tailed Sponge. Thanks for joining. And then I did a color study with the values on top of that. Ooh, my camera can focus. So we're going to be drawing this on this right up in here. So it'll be fun. I don't do watercolors all the time, but I really like doing them. So I'm trying to do more non-digital work. So this is what this is here. I'm hoping to do this like in an hour. So let me know though if you have any questions or anything. I'm going to kind of just like bust into it here. I'm going to do like kind of blue, and I'm going to do some, I like my watercolors to be like a little bit dry. Let's see. I'm actually using my wife's watercolor palette, so I'm not totally sure where all the colors are, but we're just going to get started here. Doing this, a little bit of watercolor. Of course, I did watercolor like all through college because I have my degree in illustration. So watercolor was kind of one of my jams, even though I was mostly like doing a lot of acrylic paint. That's kind of what I was doing mostly, but I like watercolor. Or I guess I did watercolors more after I got out of college. Might have been more what actually happened. I like the looseness. Maybe I should have gotten a bigger brush for this. These areas are a little larger than I had anticipated. Well, here we go. I do need a bigger brush. Do I have a bigger brush like close by? Yes, right here. This is slightly bigger, but you got to use the correct brush for the correct size. Otherwise, it takes forever. See, we're getting way more action here. So yeah, I went to school for illustration, so I've been watercoloring, and my career's been working in animation. I've been doing storyboards and everything for many years now. Then Before Christmas was one of the movies I wish I could have totally worked on, but I was really just in college at the time, so no chance of that. But I don't know, I'm using different blues here. I like to kind of blend everything up. I don't want just like one color. I find it's a little flat. Oh, I even am ignoring my note. I was like, I'm going to start with yellow, the moon, so it doesn't bleed all over the place. So let me finish this while I got it kind of wet at the moment. And then we'll do that. But let me know if you guys are big fans of Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm guessing you are if you're here. Still one of my favorite movies. I love the stop motion and the songs and the whole dealio. So I haven't watched it. I actually find I don't watch it before Halloween. I actually watch it like on Halloween, kind of when it's transitioning to Christmas, right? Because that's kind of more, I think it's a transition movie between the two. All right, now we're going to do the yellow for the moon. I'm going to stay away from the edges a little bit. And yeah, I kind of roughed everything out because I found on YouTube watching people sketch doesn't really work too well because it's too light. You can't really see everything. So this is more painting once I kind of got it all. Oh, but I did sketch with the watercolor pencils, and now I see they're disappearing, so I got to be a little more careful of where I'm going over. Maybe I got to do colored pencil on top of my characters so I can see them. And then, using watercolors, many different steps. Everyone can use them differently. Does anyone watching use watercolors? If so, let me know if you're doing watercolors. Not that you're doing it with me, but if you just do them. I find it very forgiving, and I can do lots of little layers, which is what I like. Am I lit enough? It looks kind of dark on YouTube. We'll try that light and see. So yeah. So what? Who's all watching? Say hello if you're watching. That would be nice. Help me out. I'm still getting my YouTube channel. I got a hair in here. These brushes lose hairs. You gotta kind of pick them out. All right. We're going to stop on that for a second. And we are going to use some colored pencil inside, do my character, so I don't want to do these washes. I don't want washing over them. So Jack Skellington here. There's going to be silhouettes. I'm not drawing them like full detail because I want them kind of small. I just wanted to do almost like a landscape. Hey Una, what's up? Thanks for staying up for me. Or maybe you're just awake anyways. Una's joining us, which is great. I'm trying something different today. I'm doing watercolors instead of just sketching all the time. Oh yeah, watercolor brush pens are really nice. I like watercolor pencils also. The brush prints are cool. But yeah, I don't use it a lot, right? We're probably all like digital these days, but I'm trying to break my habit of just sitting in front of the computer kind of drawing all day. And so part of it is doing these lives. I like talking to people and seeing what they think. And then, so I'm going to be using a mix of colored pencils and watercolor because I just like sketching and I like the sketching and drawing with the watercolors, which is nice because they kind of work together. So I'm doing my pumpkins down here, which we'll get to later, but I'm just kind of roughing it in because I realize my watercolor is going to, these are all watercolor. I made these blue lines with the watercolor pencil, so they're totally going to like disappear when the, let me see if I can get more light. They're totally going to disappear when I go over them with water, and I need to be able to see them so I don't mess it up. So yeah, so all right, so now I've got my basic watercolor down. I got some little bleed stuff going on over here. I don't want super bleed, but I'm going to start using my watercolors a little less watery so they're a little darker because I want this. I showed you earlier, I did a value study right here of the whole thing. So I want it to be really dark around the moon so it pops. So I got to go really dark. So I can't have the watercolors be as light because then they will, if you use a lot of water with the watercolors, then they are light. Like this right here that I'm doing right there. That's too light. So we got to darken that up. Or make it also a little drier. A little less water will give you like more paint, right? So there, see how dark that is? That's nice right there. So I'm doing that. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, still one of my favorite movies. I've met people that work on James and the Giant Peach Tree, which is what they did after Nightmare Before Christmas, which is pretty cool. I just like stop motion a lot. I know it's really expensive and time consuming. I mean, all animation is time consuming, but that's like extra time consuming. You got to build it and whatever. But I would still love to work on it. Like I love Shaun the Sheep is really great. What else? Other stop motion movies. Chicken Run. I grew up with the old Christmas movies like Rudolph and all that kind of stuff on TV. So I think that's where it started. It's that feeling. What stop motion movies you guys kind of into? Anything? Or any, I don't know, whatever stop motion is good. I like the texture of it. Like, yes, obviously feels like it's real, so it has that look of real. Yeah, I'm enjoying these watercolors so far. These are like pro grade watercolor, or I guess they're like above student grade watercolors, but not like super pro because they weren't super expensive. It's like $5-7 a tube or something like that. But I'm also trying to like limit my limit my color choices. I'm going to kind of be using let's see, I got the pencils right here. I'm kind of using dark blue, purple, yellow, and orange. That's really all I'm going to be using for this. I find it works better to keep it simple instead of having like a ton of colors all over the place. Then that's kind of crazy. So the sky I'm going to make blue, and then this down here is going to be purple, the spirally arm thing. What's that called? Does anyone know what that's called? It has a name. I can't remember. So we'll just make it this. But Tim Burton's crazy designs, awesome. I love all of that. It's pretty cool. So here I'm using, and I like using these kind of bigger brushes. I don't like using tiny brushes. I like to have, this is like a sumi brush, which is technically made for Japanese painting or Japanese ink work. But I find it works great for watercolors because really, isn't watercolor just kind of ink? Kind of. It's different, but it's the same, right? So that's what I like using because I like, you can go to like a sharp point or can get kind of fat. Let me move up here so I'm kind of in the camera shot. So with watercolors, I find I do like a kind of light layer underneath to kind of get the ball rolling, and then we go over dark, and then I'm going to use colored pencils on top to go even darker. So there's that. I think I want to make the ground down here purple so we get some separation between the sky and the purple will be nice complementary color against the orange pumpkins down here. We'll make it real loose and quick like this. All right. Oh, I forgot that whole bottom part of the sky down here. We'll do that. Even though I think it's make it a little lighter, but we'll just do it. So are you guys, anyone doing anything for Halloween? Anyone dressing up? Got any cool costume ideas? I haven't dressed up in a while, but I think I might be going to like an anime con this weekend. I'm not going to dress up, but there'll be lots of people there dressed up, which was always kind of fun. I find all my creativity gets sucked into drawing and stuff, so I don't have a lot of extra mojo for making costumes these days. But when I was younger, I used to do that. But costumes are super fun if you got the time to make them, especially if you make a character you really like. All right, let's say our basics are kind of down. You know, it's looking kind of watery colory. Oh, I'll do a little bit of orange down here on this pumpkin to kind of get it. I'll give the nose a little bit of orange. Oh, that's real light. But yeah, what's everyone, and what is anyone else drawing or doing anything recently? Let's see. I'm going to do some watercolor. I'm trying to do more lives. I've been having trouble finding the time to make videos because they take so much time and editing. The work gets in the way, you know. I'm doing it all the way down here at the bottom. You can't see me doing nothing down here. I got Zero's nose in there. I guess I'm going to give Jack and Sally a little bit of color just so they start to get a little something going on in here. I said they're just going to be silhouettes. I'm not going to paint his face or her face, even though I would like to. But I'm trying to keep it more iconic versus like a tight face drawing. It's almost, this is, as I said earlier, this is almost going to be more like a landscape than. So what? So no one's got any Halloween plans? Or what's your favorite candy? My favorite candy, I like Kit Kats. I like the Crunch bars. He can't be a silhouette. Zero can't be a silhouette because he's white. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of switch into colored pencils a little bit. Oh, that's a little smudge. So like I showed you, when I do illustrations, I do like a quick color study kind of sketch. Sketch was in a sketchbook, but this is the same thing. Then I did like a value study. And I didn't care about painting all this. This is going to be a lot of work. So then I switched it to what you're seeing here. And then I did a more rendered thing. So this is what it's going to kind of look like, which you can see, it's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm going to start using some colored pencils to kind of match this value study a little bit. So I don't have to do it all with the watercolors. And I wanted to kind of keep some of the sketchiness, like I don't know if you've seen Tim Burton's original drawings for the movie. Oh, it's too sketchy, or it's too wet still. I'm going to turn on a fan for a second, see if that can help. Can you guys hear that fan? Like, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you hear the fan. I turned it on, but it'll really help me. But I don't know if it's really noisy and obnoxious, and I'm not going to use it. So let me know if you hear it or not. Let's see. Here's my black or the blue colored pencil. Yeah, you can see it's wet still. I might have to ramp up and make a whole bunch of noise real quick. All right, I'm gonna use my hair dryer for a second. I'm gonna try to cover the mic or move the mic. So hold on for 1 second. Okay, thank you for letting me use my hair dryer. That just saves. If you're a real watercolorist, you're not using hair dryers, but whatever. I'm going for speed. I'm seeing if I can do this whole thing in the hour, and I'm already 15 minutes in, but I think we're doing all right. Where's the blue? I have to read these. All right, blue. That still looks like black. It says black. I think I need to get new glasses. I can't tell what anything says anymore. Blue. All right. But if you've seen Tim Burton's original sketches for the movie, his line work is really sketchy. So I wanted to get some of that. I wanted to be watercolor, but I wanted to still kind of feel like a Tim Burton kind of sketchy thing. Super speed, yeah, we're kind of go fast. As Una knows, I like to work fast. Some people like to spend a long time and do little details. That is not me. But that's probably why I'm a storyboarder, right? Storyboards are fast. My style, for me personally, my illustration stuff, which I learned in college, was speed was my friend. But everyone has their own style. Most of my college roommates were much more preferred slow and little details. But that's great. Their stuff looked amazing. In college, I kind of wished I could be more like that style. But for me, personally, somehow when I start taking time or overthinking, I feel as though the energy on the piece, on the art, kind of dies a little bit for me. So, it's all about finding whatever style is, what your style is. How do you like working? So I'd rather draw it quick, and then maybe I have to redo it. I'd rather do that than spend a long time noodling it and then, it not coming out or whatever. So you're seeing me, I like working super fast. I'm not working slow. But however you want to draw, you do it however you want to do it. Don't feel like you got to copy me, because as Una said, I work at super speed. But I do storyboards for movies and television shows and stuff, and storyboards have to be done fast. That's just how it works. I have to draw a whole episode in a month, which is super fast. So let's see, we'll give Jack a little something here. All right, I'm working on the values, so you can see that's why I put this in here. Dark from the shadow of the pumpkins. We'll give the land a little bit of definition down here. Alright, we're starting to get somewhere. I think the moon... Oh, where did this come from? Must have smudged something. Or maybe that looks like Zero's nose was smudging. So we'll just do that with colored pencil. Oh, so much easier. I should have done that in the first place. So I find a lot of people do use colored pencils. I find on YouTube, though, everyone talks about just only using watercolors. I really find these two mediums work really dynamite together, because you can kind of balance and work it out. All right, now get the big brush, or kind of big brush, and we're going to go over these watercolors again now with some darker paint to give it, and I'm going to make it kind of weird crosshatchy kind of effect to try to give it some movement in the paint so it's not just flat. It took me a long time to learn that sometimes you want to you don't want to just do the brush line the same, because then I don't know, it kind of looks the same. See how I'm making kind of little X's? I think I learned that from Bob Ross, not even like a painting teacher at school. Bob Ross, when he paints his backgrounds and clouds, he's like doing all these little X's. But I agree with him. It kind of gives it some motion. Anyone here watching Bob Ross? Or have you watched Bob Ross? I hear sometimes they play him in schools now for like an art project. When I was a kid, we did not do that. It was just on TV like at noon. Oh yeah, favorite candies. Let's do that. Chocolate and lollipops. That's a good combo. Or is it lollipop chocolate? Or is it like those are two separate things, like chocolate bars and lollipops. I like grape lollipops the most. I also like cherry a lot. Yeah, Una's seen Bob Ross. I mean, he's all over YouTube now, or Steam, Twitch. I mean, sorry. Sometimes, as some of you have watched me before, you know it's kind of tough to like draw and talk all at the same time. Sometimes things get crossed in my brain with what I'm saying, because I'm kind of half thinking about what I'm saying and half not. And half thinking about the art I'm making in front of you. So Una, what's some of your favorite candy? What do you got? I'm a big fan of Kit. If I could eat whatever I wanted, I would eat like Reese's peanut butter cups, probably like all the time. That's probably my favorite. Oh, or the mints, the cream, the York peppermint patty kind of thing. Love that. All right, we're getting dark here on this. And we're gonna make this a little darker down here too, because it's too light. We gotta leave a little edge for the shadow, for the light to be on the edge. Because with watercolors, you can't go over. Ooh, Mars bars. Excellent choice. That's another good one. With the... Yeah, I like Mars bars too. So, yes, I agree. Those are, especially if you can get them on Halloween, that's a real score. You know, when people hand out like a real candy instead of like kind of weird peanuts or whatever. But yeah, that's all good. I think you've all probably saw my video. Like I think candy corn is the worst because I ended up like eating too much candy corn in one sitting. But candy corn, I can't eat it anymore. Any of that stuff. The candy pumpkins, I can't do any of that. Here I'm doing a little lines with the watercolor, so it looks, if you look at it closely in the movie, it's got a little like texture all over it, right? Because it's a real thing. I'm still amazed that whole thing was a puppet. Oh yeah, if you had some Mars bars last Halloween, that's a score, Una, right there. Pretty good. I did a Halloween event where I was like at like a street event over the weekend. It was a race to like raise money, and I was working that, and people were, when I was doing drawings, people were bringing me Skittles and what else was people handing out? Skittles and I cannot remember the name. It's the chocolate bars, little chocolate twirlies. They're kind of like caramel. Oof. I can't think of that and a draw apparently, so you have to imagine whatever you want for that. But yeah, they were bringing that to me while I was drawing. It's pretty fun. We raised a bunch of money for the event, so that was good. Alright, we're back on the moon here. I'm going to try not to get too much bleed from the blue on the outside, but I might have, as I said in my note to myself, I should have done the moon first. But here we are, doing it later. But the moon has a little bit of orange to it, so that's what we're adding, a little bit of orange on the edges. And then we're going to go in with some more yellow. See if I can avoid painting over 0, which will probably be a little tricky for me. I wish I had like a really big fat brush. But alas, you work with what you got on hand. Right, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I'm like 20 minutes in. We're getting there. We'll add some more yellow here on the yellow, and the orange will kind of blend up here. It might be too much yellow now. I gotta lift some of that out. If you use a wet watercolor brush, you can kind of lift out the paint. See? Lift it out so it's not as much. Because with watercolors, you got to leave your whites white. Because there's no... I mean, you can go over it with gouache or something if you want to, but I'm going to use my thumb right here. Boom. There you go. Much better. See, this is the kind of stuff you can't do on the computer. Grab it with your thumb. I'm actually even going to use some watercolor, some paper towel right here. That'll really dry it out. Perfect. There, all right. Do that. So, anyone want to tell me what they're going to be for Halloween? Who's got some cool costumes ideas? Anyone got costumes they're doing for Halloween? Let's see. I keep seeing online they're saying that, you know, Barbie's the big costume this year, or Ken. But I'm not going as that. My wife is working during Halloween, so I probably won't be doing much. Maybe I'll sit at home and watch Nightmare Before Christmas. Probably the plan. Probably what I'll do. I can turn it up loud so I can really hear it. Not that I have a hard time hearing, but just so it can be loud. I'm going to put a bit of yellow right in this purple to show the highlight. Because I'm crazy like that. These pumpkins need a little bit of yellow. I think the eyes need to be yellow. A little bit of that. A little dirty, but that's fine. Oh, ghost. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you have like a white sheet you're going to put over yourself? Una for your ghost. I was a ghost once, like a long time ago. It's pretty fun because it's kind of easy and quick. Nice. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more dark down here. So I want to get it really dark. So I was letting it dry a little bit. Now we're going to use a little bit of blue in here to darken it up even more. When I was a kid, we used to do like our house. We made our house like really spooky. So kids would be scared to come up to the house to get the candy. We used to play we didn't play Halloween music out the window. We played like organ music, like creepy organ music. Hey, you know, Two Tails, you just got to do it. You know, I always think like the brain never likes doing new stuff. This is the first watercolor painting I've done in a while. Just get it out and try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But, you know, you never know. Maybe you've progressed as an artist now and you'll be like, oh, snap. This is great. Oh, I'm like leaning right over the microphone. Maybe it'll be, bought a ghost costume. Well, that works too, you know. Making costumes seriously takes some time. Like serious time. All right, look, this is looking good. This looks dark over here, right? I'm trying to make sure it's not just one flat black, but like has some variety of depth and colors. Maybe this feed will inspire you, Two Tails, to do watercolors. Since you got the brushes or the markers, you might as well just do it. All right, here we go. All right, this is looking pretty good. So one way when I look at the picture to see how it's doing is I squint my eyes, and that shows me what the values are, and the better than just looking with my eye. All right, we're going to put this a little darker right above the pumpkins down here. Alright, I think I need to work on Jack and Sally a little bit. So I'm going to get the smaller brush, which I realize these brushes look identical. Bigger brush, smaller brush. But you can see, smaller one's pretty, but it's pretty much smaller. You know, maybe I should, alright, let's see. I'm going to have maybes and just start doing. At some point here, I'm going to switch to colored pencils and do this. Let's see if we can get some nice detail with this. But it's so small. Oh, it's bleeding. Alright, hold on. We can use our handy paper towel. Pick up a lot of that. There you go, see? Look at that. You can correct the errors, just got to be quick. If I'd let that sit there, it would have been dried up. So, is your ghost like a specific ghost? Like some historical figure or some movie thing? Or just like a ghost? Is it a color? Like I always wanted to have like I always like ghost things I like to buy to decorate the house with like a glow in the dark. I always think it's pretty cool. Or like those glow sticks you can get. Alright, they're looking darker up there. Good. Alright, pumpkin time down here a little bit. A little bit of something to help these pumpkins out. Oh, yeah, I think they're supposed to be dark. As I did look at a lot of stuff before this to kind of... I like to keep it kind of looking exactly like the movie and kind of not. You know, I don't need to copy a movie poster. They're kind of dark. Here in the middle. So. Oh, ghost with a cape. What? I like that idea. I don't know what's going on with the ghost with the cape, but I like it. I like that. That's a good costume. I always wanted to dress up. Have you seen, like, in the... If I'm talking about Night Before Christmas, the Disney has, like, a show, you know, when they do the fireworks at the end, but for Halloween they have, like, a show, and they have, like, this giant Jack puppet. Like, life-size, I guess I would say. It looks pretty cool. Because normally you can't really make a costume of Jack because he's so skinny and kind of tall, it just looks weird. But yeah, I remember when this movie came out. I think I saw this one in the movie theaters like a lot. I was really impressed with Nightmare Before Christmas when it came out. Okay, we're moving on to the next phase, I guess. Let's see, how's everything doing with the... I'm looking here to see if it looks dry or not. And this is a big puddle over here. I might need to use the hairdryer once again, because I have a little fan over here that's blowing, that's helping things dry. And I got some, this is pretty good paper, or moderately good paper. So it should be drying, but colored pencils really don't work over wet stuff. They kind of really smudge up or do weird stuff. I think if I'm doing real watercolor, I should have taped my page down, but I did not. So it's a little... Alright, I'm going to use the hairdryer again for speed. So I'm going to move the microphone real quick. Okay, did that. Now we're in good shape with it. Oh, good. We still have 30 minutes to go. I'm going to do a little test here. I didn't test these pens, but I got these really cool pens that I use for inking comics and stuff. But I don't know if they are water resistant, but I think they are supposed to be. But let's see. We'll do a little test. We'll do some lines. Let's say this is Jack right here. I'll let that sit for like a second and dry, because I'd love to do some detail and not have it smudge all over the place. And paintbrush. So let's see here. That's dry now for like a second. So we'll see what happens. We'll grab some watercolor. Here we go. Do you think it's going to smear or not? What do you think? Here we go. I don't think it's going to smear. I'm going to go right over the face, even though I know. All right, good. It did not smear. Let's see what happens if I go over it with a little bit more. Or what's some favorite Halloween movies that you guys are going to watch or what? I like Ghostbusters. I watch Ghostbusters on Halloween. Also like Beetlejuice and all the Tim Burton kind of stuff. All right. That did not smear, which is good. That means it's real ink, which is what it should be in these things. These are like Japanese Pentel inking pens. They're really great. All right. So now back to this. I like using all different mediums. I don't think just one thing needs to be the answer to doing illustrations. I think illustration allows you to do a little bit of everything, or you can use whatever you want. Like I said, I went to school for illustration. That's what my degree is actually in, illustration. So, all right, here we go. Oh yeah, there you go. This helps the ink. So I've never tried ink with watercolor, so this is new for me. So don't be afraid to try new stuff. You never know. It might work. Or this is working. It's giving me the effect I want, which is a little more control. I don't like little noodly brush kind of stuff. It's not what I enjoy doing. But some people like it. All my college roommates really liked little tight noodly things. So, no Halloween movies? What kind of Halloween movies you guys watch? There must be something you guys watch. Come on. Give me something. Something to talk about. So I'm not just talking to myself. Here we go. We're in Ink 02. So you see in my head? Nope. And see, this makes it more illustration-y looking. With nice little ink work. Give Zero some eyes. Boop, boop. All right, good. It's a really simple Zero, but good. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to ink all that, but the pumpkins need a little bit of help. Let's see. Oh, self-taught artist, man. That's great. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? I actually think self-taught artists can do a lot of cool stuff that I kind of can't do. And the weird thing I found in my life is, like, I've been so trained with certain stuff, I can't untrain myself. I have a hard time getting, like, I don't want to say, like, loose or kind of raw. Most of the artists I like on Instagram or YouTube are self-taught artists. I think there's a niceness to the work that I just can't do because I've been trained up. So self-taught artist is great. That's also what my wife is, a self-taught artist. So I'm all into that. Now here we go. We're giving some more lines down here, like a Tim Burton drawing. So yeah, keep going. I always tell people, like, doing art is kind of like leveling up a character in a video game. The more time you sink in, the more powerful you get. So no matter how much grinding you have to do, just the way it works. I've just been doing it for like 20, 30 years. So I can do this because I've been doing it for that long. But for new people, you gotta start. The more you practice, you know, I think it's great. And plus, there's so many videos you can watch these days. It's so cool. When I was young in the 80s, so we didn't have YouTube. And so I'd have to take classes or read books or wherever. My parents would take me to an art class here and there or school. So, yeah, I think it's great. Just keep going. That's the main thing I say to self-taught artists or young artists. Just keep drawing. You get better. Believe me. I'm an example of that. I've been drawing what kind of stuff do you like to draw? Two Tails. Like, do you draw like anime stuff? What do you like to draw? Because I'm looking for ideas for what people want to see from me, from live streams or videos. So let me know what you're kind of looking for. Maybe I'll do one. Because I'm still kind of new to YouTube. Though luckily I did a video about candy corn, and it did really well. I got like 40K views. It's a short. So I got up to like 500 subscribers, which is amazing. I didn't think I'd get there. So that was really cool. But now I need to make more videos. So I'm working on figuring out what everyone wants to see from me, Like, I'm a professional artist, so should I be talking about that? People seem to like funny stories, so I want to work on that. Kind of like all that. What do you guys want to see? You want to see more lives? You want to see more videos? I mean, obviously, lives become videos afterwards. All right, the edge of my moon is super wonky. Yeah, drawing cartoons, that's what I love drawing too. I could draw cartoons just all day. What cartoons are you drawing? Like, I did some a couple weeks ago. I did like Bluey. I drew Bluey characters live. And I did SpongeBob characters live. That was pretty good. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of other stuff to draw. I was thinking of drawing like Shrek characters, or I don't know. Obviously, I like drawing cartoons, so whatever cartoon stuff, is good. So any ideas? I would think of doing like some Minecraft stuff. Would be kind of fun. Some characters from Minecraft, I think would be cool. All right, my moon's a little better there. But yeah, what cartoons do you like to draw? Maybe we can draw that next time. I keep trying to find a time I can just do lives like every week. Thursday seems to be where it's kind of working, but it's, life changes all the time. But I'm trying to set it up. I'm trying to make YouTube a priority, is what I'm trying to say, slowly. All right. This is looking pretty good. I need a little darker right here. Oh, that is a really light. It's the opposite of dark. So I'm trying to work on YouTube. I'd like YouTube to kind of be my main thing in life. So, like I said, let me know what you think, what you want to see me do. Because what you want is probably what other people want. And I'm too close to myself to see what people want, apparently. I know I need to make videos because I've been making shorts, and then I just learned the other day that shorts don't count towards monetization. So I'm going to start doing some videos, like longer 8-minute videos, or not 8 minutes, like 3 or 4 minute videos. All right, I'm going to add some more purple. It's all getting pretty dark and gray. So now that I got a bunch of paint on there and the values are kind of working, we're going to go give it more color now. So what cartoons are you guys all watching over there? We're watching like Spy Family, and we always watch Gravity Falls sometimes. I like Gravity Falls. All that business. What else? Oh, we watched Chainsaw Man recently. It was pretty good. So, yeah. Yeah, keep drawing. I'm also a big fan of, I tell people also, like, tracing is good. I think people don't think they should be tracing, like they should be drawing it themselves. But I think tracing, you can learn a lot. That's what I did as a kid. I traced a lot. I'd go through tracing paper. I'd just put it over comics or cartoons and just trace. You kind of start to see how things really work, which is nice. So, get some tracing paper. It's good. Good for the soul. All right, we're looking pretty good here. Oh, yeah, I'm almost at 15 minutes. I'm trying to do like an hour. Oh, bleeding in. Oh, well. But yeah, good. I'm liking This has been fun to paint watercolors instead of doing a bunch of drawings, but I like doing a bunch of drawings too. Maybe I have to try a little bit of both. Or see which one gets more views. That's always the answer, right? Whichever one gets more views, that's what people want to see. So that's why I thought I'd try a watercolor illustration. It's weird to like not be thinking about fixing this up. Normally I would do something like this and I'd bring it in the computer and then I'd like touch it up and clean it up and do all this kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let this be what it is right here on the page. Okay, let's see, that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna squint so I can see it. Alright, I'm gonna use my hairdryer one more time because I'm trying to work fast. So I'm gonna move the microphone a little bit. Okay, there you go. I need like a white something. I got white pencils over here. I want to give it a little... my pencils are on the wrong side of my... You can see where I kept the pencils. Let's see. Let's give it a little bit of something up in here. You can see I'm pretty rough on my paper and everything. Just doing whatever. I like using all different, as I said, I've been used ink, color pencil, whatever works, whatever you have on hand. I did not buy any, I bought art supplies in the past, but I didn't buy, what I mean is I didn't buy anything specific for this illustration. Everything was what I would have just in the house. Now, granted, I've been an artist for a long time, so I got lots of art supplies, but also just use what you have in the house. You don't need to go get special art supplies. I'm going to try this white pen to give it a little pop. This is not even like a Posca pen or anything. This is just like a ballpoint marker kind of thing. But it's going to work for this, where we can clean up Jack a little bit because he got a little rough in a couple places. Oh, there you go. That's all I needed was a little something to pop it. Clean up the edges a little tiny bit. And look more finished like that. Alright, there's that. Looks pretty good. We could use this white marker and put some marks in here. Give it a little bit of texture like that. Looks pretty good. Also, when I was in college, I used to use like just whiteout for this. Okay, I see a couple things I want to do though. Let's see how well this white holds up to me going over top of it. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. I'm putting some really dark lines up here. You see me just using paint real quick. And just, I don't know. I'm trying to have fun drawing versus making like a masterpiece, you know? I think there's different types of drawing you can make. I'm going to spend a long time on this one thing. This is just kind of moving the brush around and having fun. Which is what I've been trying to do instead of just, as I said, instead of just looking at a computer screen all the time making art. Make some art in the real world. Alright, let's get the purple in here. And watercolor dries kind of later. Well, let's see what happens when I go over the white. Does it do anything? Does it smear? Nope. All right, well, good to know. For the future, we could just use that white and it'll just work. I'm trying to fill this out a little bit. All right, there we go. Looks a little better without the edges being all wonky. More color right up to color. So, doing this. Yeah, I'm excited. Halloween's like right soon. It's like kind of this weekend or early next week, but I guess this weekend's when everything's happening, right? You're not really doing. By next week, you'll be kind of done. Well, I went to Home Depot and Lowe's, which is the hardware stores, and Michael's, which is the art supply store here. All of them, the Halloween stuff is like gone or like 50% off. It's already all the Christmas stuff. So the store is already done with Halloween. You can get stuff 50% off already. Crazy. All right, these pumpkins are looking a little sad down here, or lack of color. Let's punch them up. I like working with lots of layers of color. I build up. So I just have to remember to leave the white alone so that I can keep building layer upon layer. Is how I like to work. Or, I mean, sometimes I use acrylics and it's nice to be able to go over it, but, you know. Hey, for all those who have been watching, if you're able to give me a like on the video, that is super helpful to my YouTube growth. So if you're watching, give it a like. That helps a lot. And then I'm going to use more black here. Make some more black up in here. And some black down here. So what, have you guys have any suggestions on other stuff you want to see me draw as I'm coming around the end here? I can do illustrations. We can draw characters next. Since you guys are showing up, you guys get to help pick what I do next. That's how it goes. If you're supporting me, I want to know what you guys want. So let me know what you want to see me do. What kind of stuff you want to see from me. I'm happy to do it. You want to see me draw cartoon characters? Or you want to see me do more watercolors? Whatever. Just let me know. That line is too much. It's too white. I wanted like a little highlight, not like a whole line right there. So we'll go over it with some colored pencil. It's a little light right there. Give this a little stuff on the edge so it gets a little bit of glow. There's some of the stuff you can't really probably see, but it looks good on my side. Now I'll have to do a scan or something. I'll post a scan so you can see the little detail. See, I put the yellow. See here on the edge? It makes it look like it's glowing a little bit. I can't draw it up here because I need the hard surface. It gives a little bit of glow around that, which is nice. Kind of like a transition between the two. Oh yes, Snoopy for Halloween. I was thinking of doing some Snoopy Halloween stuff. Because Snoopy also kind of works really well for Thanksgiving to me. Kind of does both, right? Halloween and that. That's a good idea. I will do some Snoopy next. I gotta get out my DVD of the Snoopy Halloween special. That's my favorite. You know, that part still creeps me out a little bit when he's sneaking around through the woods. That even creeped me out as a kid a little bit. Oh, look, I can put a little bit of yellow right in this purple right here. Oh, yeah. It's working well to use colored pencil on top of watercolor, which of course it would. See, so this is looking pretty good. See, I'll hold it up close so you can see. Look at all that variety and texture up in here. If my camera would focus. There you go. See? This is why I do all the layers. You get all this kind of interesting stuff going on. See, is it better if I focus here? Yeah. And these things, you know, gives it some depth. These didn't come out the best, but those weren't really the priority down there. So, me, you know. All right, guys, I think I'm pretty much done here, unless anyone's got any questions. This was my 1 hour Nightmare Before Christmas illustration. As I said, that's what it is. I did my color study, my sketch. I did a value study, and then I flipped it so it was vertical. And then I did a color study, and then here we are. This is finished. Blah, blah, blah. All right, thanks, guys. If you want to give me a like, that's super helpful. And let me know, send me an email or whatever. I see Snoopy, so we'll talk about Snoopy for next time. And have a nice evening, everyone. Bye.